You're commuting home with Katz and Cosby. Now, here's John Katzimatidis and Rita Cosby on 77 WABC.
And now we go to the great political consultant and pollster, Doug Shoen. Doug, what's going on with the race? And not just the Trump side. Let's go to the Biden side, too, because there are so many reports out there that Biden could even drop out of the presidential race, the 2024 race, as early as Saturday. And then there's some people saying, wait, not so fast.
Well, I think what is clear, Rita, to answer your questions, is that Biden is now some 5 points or more behind, and in the swing states, even worse than 5 points behind. What Michael Goodwin said is correct. The Midwest is closer than the southern swing states, but with the Democrats in disarray and with Trump having unified the party, you have to say that Donald Trump is the odds-on favorite to win the election. And I think if Biden drops out, whether it's now or in the very near future, you will see Kamala Harris as the nominee. But I don't believe she can beat Donald Trump either.
Did you see, Doug, too, the report that came out yesterday? And Ed and I were at the Republican National Convention, and the whole hall was like buzzing because the report was that he's decided, obviously being pushed by Obama and others, to drop out, and that he would not endorse Kamala Harris. He would not be endorsing anyone. How do you read that?
Well, I'd say two things. First, I don't think it matters that much that he endorses her. I think she has 35% to start with. Second, given that it's a Biden-Harris committee, if she's the nominee, she starts with a leg up with some $200 million plus in campaign funds. And rumors are rumors. I tend to think that ultimately he would have to be, if not supportive of Kamala, very, very deferential to her candidacy.
You know, Doug, you obviously talk to everybody on all sides, which is why we love you. But you talk to a lot of the Democrats. They got to be shaking their heads because I've covered a lot of conventions. Ed has been to many, many of them. And they were unified. There was such an energy. You saw Nikki Haley there. You saw DeSantis there. Clear strength. I mean, it was just, there was such a momentum I felt at this convention, almost like never before, at least in modern times. And then yet you see the Democrats in disarray. Is it panic mode?
Yeah, pretty close. I mean, I don't think it's panic mode because it's single digits, but it's heading in the wrong direction. The Democrats have no momentum. They have no plan and no strategy. And the Republicans are unified, organized, and have a clear strategy.
Ed Cox.
So extraordinary things were happening against extraordinary background here. Trump tore up his acceptance speech as he had it and wrote a whole new one at the last moment. You had two unusual events as backdrop, attempted assassination, which he described in detail at the start of his acceptance speech. And then you had the Democrat Party over the last 4 weeks just breaking up and trying to push out the president as their nominee. How do you analyze all of that?
I analyze it as very good for Donald Trump and the Republicans and very bad for the Democrats. I thought it was a riveting convention speech, probably the best I've ever seen by any Democrat or Republican. I thought the convention was a tour de force, and I see the Democratic Party being literally and metaphorically leaderless.
And what did the attempted assassination play in all that mixture?
I think it humanized Trump. I found his account riveting of the assassination attempt, and I found myself sympathetic to Trump in ways that I have not been previously.
Well, you know, Doug, I will tell you, I felt that it was so genuinely sincere. And it was truly life-changing. How could it not be what happened to him? I mean, it's unfathomable what happened to him. I mean, it's just shocking. But I really do believe that he is now, even to your point, I think connecting. I thought, even people who maybe didn't vote for President Trump, if they saw that speech, when he said, I should not be here, it's just for the grace of God that I'm still standing here. I thought that's something that an independent, a lot of people would say, wow, I can relate to. This is a man who really had sincerity. I saw a lot of depth there and even some humility. That isn't often a word that you hear with President Trump.
I agree with that, Rita. That was my reaction. I've not voted for him. I've known him. I've worked for him. Not voted for him. But I found him far more sympathetic and empathetic than I've ever seen him before.
Well, the shock today, Doug Shoen, was the fact that Secretary Blinken has announced that Iran is 1 or 2 weeks away from obtaining a nuclear bomb. And for us to allow that to happen, it is mind-boggling. I mean, it's the ultimate failure of the administration.
Well, John, the way you say it, I can only say I wish you were wrong. I fear that you are totally right. And it is an abdication of responsibility. And I hold the Democrats responsible, whether it be President Obama or President Biden.
Yeah, and boy, that is a catastrophe for the world. I felt like it was night and day, Doug. The world that we heard from President Trump last night saying, look, Iran was broke under him, and now they are flush with cash. I mean, it couldn't be more clear.
I wish it wasn't.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Doug, thank you very, very much. I know you got to go. We are so grateful that you're with us. Doug Shoen, thank you so much, Doug. Thank you.